I started messing around with meme coins in the Solana world, and I really felt like I wrapped my mind around the whole like culture and what it's like about. And I really debated on like, should we do like where should we do this thing? I just started to think more and more heavily about MELD. I mean, I considered Cardano and others too, but I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense to me to be the first mover on MELD to do this thing right. And also, I would say I kind of have a dual purpose, which is like I would love my goal with RawDog is to bring as many users over to MELD as possible. So if you can get a meme coin that really grabs a lot of attention, you know that's really how Solana has grown so much is they're dominating the attention world.
What's up, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. My name's Fareed. As a part of today's video, we're diving into RawDog Pumps, the first ever meme coin to launch on the highly anticipated MELD network. Without any further ado, I've got the head of the meme coin, which is Sam, who will be joining me to dive into everything that's brought him to building on MELD. Sam, welcome aboard. How are you?
What's up, Fareed? Been a fan for a while, watched basically all your videos along the way. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Massive thank you. I appreciate that very much. So, as a part of today's video, we're talking about your meme coin, which I believe is the first ever to launch on the MELD network. What's taken me away by just my first impressions here is how professional this is. Now, before we dive into RawDog Pumps, what's brought you into the space and how you're connected to MELD, let's maybe hear just a little bit about what you do and maybe what's brought you into crypto.
Yeah, so I guess I'm an internet OG, I guess is what I consider myself. So I got into digital marketing way back in like 2010. Worked for various agencies. I actually heard about Bitcoin when it was like around 90 bucks. I bought a bunch and I was like, this is gonna save the world, right? Bitcoin. This like I was like a Bitcoin maxi when I first heard about it. For some reason, I like lost the faith. We didn't have as much resources back then, right? Like to keep like the belief alive. So I kind of forgot about it. I sold it like 200 bucks. I thought I was so smart. And then I basically just kind of forgot about Bitcoin. But I've been a digital marketer since way back then. And that's kind of my journey. And so I was aware of Bitcoin. And then I had like a re-interest. I got re-interested in it in like 2019. After just kind of forgetting about it. I don't even know why I forgot about it all those years, but I got reinterested in 2019. And then I started to just go down the rabbit hole of like, what's this Ethereum thing, right? And then I ran into Charles Cardano, and I was like, okay, like Cardano is like the way, right? This is the one. This is going to be the winner. Like this guy's a genius. And I still feel that way, by the way. But anyway, so I went down the Cardano path, and then I just started like really heavily investing in 2020 because I saw like, oh, they're like printing all this money. Like this is exactly what Bitcoin was made for, right? So I just was kind of going all in, and then I got more and more into the Cardano stuff, and then I just basically went all in Cardano. Um, then the ISPO stuff happened, right? Like MELD launched the first ISPO, and I just thought that was so awesome. And when I saw what MELD was trying to do, I was like, I would use that. Like, I really want to use this for myself, right? So I was I was a staker. That's how I got into the whole MELD thing, and then I've just followed the project for the last 3 years. And every 6 months, I'm like, they're launching anytime now, right? Like, MELD's about to launch. They're about to launch, and so I finally kind of just got sick of waiting. And then when they just then they migrated over to being an L1 of their own, an Avalanche subnet or whatever. And I was just thinking like, I'm tired of waiting. What can I do to help? I'm not really like super technical. I'm not like a hardcore backend programmer or anything like that. But I'm a marketer and I'm obsessed with branding. And at the time, I was using kind of an anon name called RawDog because I've always thought the word was just funny. Like I just think it's a funny word. it's one of those words that's just always stick in my head, and I love when I get an opportunity to use it. So I was using that as like an anon name, and me and my buddies were kind of like laughing about it. And I was like, this is when the meme coin stuff was really starting to like pump up or whatever, like get trendy. And I was like, maybe I'll just make my own meme coin and call it RawDog, right? And so that was just like the initial brainstorming. And then I just kept pursuing it, I guess you could say. And now it's real. So it's kind of like the whole thing was just supposed to, I've just been having fun with it. And that's really what it's all about anyways, is just having fun. And so it's just been kind of a fun journey of the whole blockchain world that's devolved into RawDog.
Now, you've obviously played your cards extremely well, right? Taking a look at the official RawDog website, I just showed it there on screen. Super high quality. Again, we're going to dive into some of the specifics there, but you've even taken it a step further, wearing some RawDog official merch, right? So kudos to you. Again, a lot of projects just come out and it's just like this project that has no physicals or anything else associated but a token, but you've actually gone through the branding. I believe you said you had some experience doing marketing as well, which definitely shows here in the professionalism that I see on the official website.
Yeah, I
Now,
own a marketing agency. And so I analyze brands all day long. We do inbound marketing. So basically we help companies pull traffic off Google and get them to convert into leads for SaaS companies, for law firms, anybody who wants leads. And so a huge component of that is having like a really sexy website. But also it's like, what makes a sexy website? When you break that down, a lot of it's like, it starts with the brand. Is the brand cool? Is it appealing? Is it named correctly? You know, and then it's building the website based around a sales pitch that gets people to convert. And so that's what I do for a living. And I was like, I don't see anything different with meme coins than that process. You got to make a cool brand and you got to build a pitch.
you're spot on. I mean, I think of like Pepe, Keck, all these different types of meme coins. It's literally boils down to a brand. Doge,
Yep.
again, Pepe, take a look at Floki, all of these just have a brand or a reputation behind them, which I think is important, which again, I think you've identified and you've executed very well here with RawDog Pumps. Now, for anybody who wants to actually find out more about RawDog Pumps, the official website is available at rawdogpumps.com. I'll leave that down below for the viewers. But let's maybe just quickly discuss why MELD and why now, and also, what's the goal of something like RawDog Pumps, right? So again, you're taking a much more professional approach. I'd love to hear why you're taking this opportunity now to build on such a fresh ecosystem and exactly what the end goal or what your vision is for this particular meme token.
Yeah. So why MELD? I've just been impressed. I've been impressed with using it. It's fast. And I took a break from everything. I kind of basically migrated. I started messing around with meme coins in the Solana world, and I really felt like I wrapped my mind around the whole like culture and what it's like about. And I really debated on like, where should we do this thing? Like, because once I kind of made my mind up, okay, I'm going to make a meme coin. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to make it as cool as possible. I'm going to, make merch. I'm going to do everything I can. Right. So I was like, SNEK was one. I was like, oh, they made an energy drink. That's cool. Right. And so I kind of had that same thing in my mind, and I was debating on what chain to launch on. I'm like, okay, so Solana you're competing with like celebrities these days, The meme coin world in Solana is crazy. There's like thousands that are launched every single day, right? Like, and I was like, why not do this in kind of like a smaller pond, but one where we can be the first mover advantage? And then I am a believer in MELD too, big time. I'm like heavily invested in MELD. Mostly just the simple analysis of like, would I use this? Am I going to use this? And my answer is yes. Like, I want to do the lending and bar. I want to do that. I want to be able to onboard and offboard, and take a loan against fiat all on chain. I think that's so cool. So I just started to think more and more heavily about MELD. I mean, I considered Cardano and others too, but I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense to me to be the first mover on MELD, to do this thing right. And also, I would say I kind of have a dual purpose, which is like, I would love, my goal with RawDog is to bring as many users over to MELD as possible. So if you can get a meme coin that really grabs a lot of attention, you know, that's really how Solana has grown so much, is they're dominating the attention world. They're, you know, so I felt like I could do something that's super cool here and hopefully pull as many users over to MELD with it as possible. And then also, you know, I want to see this thing like go to the moon too. I want RawDog to pump.
No,
So
no pun
yeah.
intended. Let's, sorry, go ahead. Did you want to add something else there?
Oh, I mean, there's a few other things like the, you know, MELD with the low transaction fees. I think that's a big deal. Um, you know, they take their transaction fees off the lending and borrowing protocol, and there's no other chain out there that's has that I'm aware of. And you know, Solana has really low transaction fees, but it's because of inflation. And so MELD is super unique where they're going to have these forever low transaction fees because the blockchain is centered around that lending and borrowing protocol, and that makes all the sense in the world to me. And so I really like that. A big thing with meme coins is like, can you get in and out of them easily, quickly, and for cheap? And so it made sense to me to go with MELD. I think MELD is going to be, in my mind, I think MELD is sort of like the Switzerland of blockchains. It's going to be like this financial center. Maybe it will never be America, you know, I don't know, maybe it will. But even if it stays like a smaller blockchain that's just centered, that people use for like the banking aspect stuff, I still think it's going to be very successful. So I felt like being a first mover, I'm a big fan of the project and what they're really like, everything's about to launch. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I really, really enjoy having you here. Um, Typically when I bring a lot of guests on, especially, you know, if they're not necessarily tied to particular projects, sometimes they struggle. You have a really, really solid grasp of what MELD is building and why this fits raw dog pumps. And I can appreciate that. Like, you've done your homework. And what's crazy is typically when you're talking to, you know, meme coin builders or meme coin investors, like a lot of them are degens. You don't strike me as a degen. You strike me as a very calculated person, and the way that you speak and the way that you sort of broken down like why MELD, like you've given me extremely solid reasons, and I couldn't be in any more of the same page. A lot of people, and I still get a lot of like really, really crazy comments when I post MELD content, but I'm like, guys, if you just disassociate yourself in Cardano from MELD, like let's just put that aside and just talk about what MELD is building. It's like there's nothing else, or there's no other project that's doing anything similar in the DeFi realm. From
Yeah.
the VASP license to the recent bank acquisitions to the actual blockchain, not just being a protocol on a blockchain, but them actually running a blockchain, the way
Hmm.
that they market, which I'm sure that you've appreciated, the way that their branding and all of that has sort of been designed. Again, I'm sure you sort of appreciated that. That's one of the biggest things that sort of helped me to gravitate more towards MELD, was how they presented themselves and how they've delivered. Yes, it has been slow, but you're right. I think once things launch and the landscape is basically ripe for the picking, the people that launch first will stand to benefit the most. Obviously, yes, they also stand to take the most risk. However, if things plan out the right way, um, I mean, you could be the Doge, you could be the Pepe on ETH, you could be the whiff on Solana, but on MELD. And
Yep.
so, one thing that you highlighted earlier, which I just want to take an opportunity to share here with the community, is exactly how explosive the meme coin scene has been on Solana. So these are stats here from pump.fun. And keep in mind, this was actually back in late July. So this is still continued to grow here. But we've seen over 1.5 million meme coins launch on pump.fun over the course of like 4 to 4.5 months. So this just goes to show the potential here when it comes to meme coins. And again, you have the honorary, I don't even know what the right word is here. to be the first person to launch on MELD. So again, huge market share opportunity. Obviously doesn't come without risk, but I'm excited for what you're building. And just based off of this conversation, and again, looking at the website, I think that you've got a really great shot, just given your experience and then how much time you've invested in RawDog pumps. So we sort of touched on quite a bit there, but I think we've got the foundation laid pretty well. Let's jump back over into your website now. You forgot tokenomics, like even that. Like typically when I see a meme coin, tokenomics are like, hey, we just did a pre-sale and that's it. Like there's no allocations or at least set amounts for like how to develop the token, how to, generate revenue, etc. So I'd love to hear about, what your take on tokenomics are. I know that you've just updated them. So I'll go ahead and share those with the community here as you're speaking as well.
Yeah. So part of the pitch is you got to differentiate, right? You got to do something different. That was at least my mindset. And so the tokenomics, basically one thing that popped into my mind to differentiate is we're doing a tax. So there is a 1% tax on transactions, and that 1% gets deposited into a wallet for what we're calling the Pumpers Club. And so basically I got this idea because of MELD. So they're having this ambassador program where they actually just pay you. They pay like influencers to promote MELD, or I don't think it's launched yet, but they've done like an initial like sign up or whatever. And that really got me thinking. I was like, damn, that could be super cool. So one thing that we're doing is we're having a 1% tax, and then that tax is going to be paid out to people who are Pumpers Club members. So basically a Pumpers Club member is you're going to tie your wallet address with your social accounts, and then however much you help promote RawDog on social, you get paid in direct proportion to what revenue came in that month, if that makes sense. So for example, on X, it shows you the view counts when you post something, right? Either like a reply or your own tweet or whatever. Every month we're going to pay out exact proportions to how many views that you help produce. So that's one thing that's different. The 1% tax, and in my mind, and the purpose of that is I don't want this to be like a meme coin that does one, that pumps and then dumps, right? Like I want this to just keep climbing over time. And really the basis of meme coins is attention and marketing effort. And so a lot of times when people buy into meme coins, they kind of become they automatically almost transform into salespeople and marketers for the project a lot of times. But I feel like the Pumpers Club will take that to even a higher level, where you not only see the token price appreciate, but you actually get paid directly every single month for helping promote the token. So that's one thing. The other thing is 80% of the liquidity is just going to be locked forever locked. So it's going to just sit on the DEX forever. No one can touch it. I can't touch it. It's gone out of existence. So boom, 80% of the token supply is locked up right off the bat. So no ability to pump and dump. And that's the big thing, is I want to safeguard against that, because I want this to be a so-called blue chip. I'm not into this like scammy stuff. So and part of it's for personal pride. I want to see it like work over at least some sort of like reasonable time frame. In 5 years, I want it to still be out there. I don't want it to be dead. So 80% of the liquidity is locked. We're doing 69 million tokens total. And I know a lot of meme coins will do like crazy numbers, but in my mind, the goal is to get that token to $1 a piece. So, and I think that's something that people can rally behind. I think if the tokenomics are too big and your coin is 0.0001 cent, that's just not that motivating, So I would love to see this thing go to $1 and beyond. And so that's why I kind of set the price at 60, or the total supply at 69 million. Um, and then we've got 3% that are for the founders team. And then we have 17% that's reserved for marketing efforts. And so the other thing that we're going to be doing is lots of different type of marketing, including onboarding influencers. So in the perfect world, I would love to get like even like celebrities behind this thing. That's out there, you know, like there are celebrities out there that endorse that. Basically somebody else creates a token and presents it to them and they're like, yeah, I'll get behind this. So I really want to onboard as many influencers as possible, and really they're just going to be in the pumpers club. And so we're gonna have some tokens reserved to be able to onboard influencers along the way, and also to pay for certain marketing efforts as well. So like I said, I own an agency and we've got a bunch of ideas up our sleeves.
Yeah, so I assume that you'll be able to sort of leverage your current network, your current expertise, and your current access, right, to marketing agencies or marketing groups to be able to sort of pump raw dog pumps, for lack of
It's the
better terms.
attention, man. It's like keeping that attention and enthusiasm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've nailed it right on the money. Again, you seem to be very well aware of what works and what doesn't, which also again gives me a little bit of reassurance about what you're building here. Now, there's an interesting piece here on the roadmap, or which I guess is what I want to jump into, which is the roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
So just taking a look here, there's like three separate sections, right? So we've got waking up, getting hard, and fully erect. Do you mind quickly breaking this down here for us and sort of explaining what the vision is, in each of these three separate stages?
Yeah, I mean, the first one, waking up, is basically getting to the point where we are right now, or getting close to it at least. Um, I worked with a branding agency to get all these graphics done. I built the website, came up with a pitch, all that stuff. Got all the social profiles up. Basically, just getting everything real. That's kind of the first step one, and then launching on MELD. Phase 2 and phase 3, I would like to go multi-chain. This isn't like, it's not, I've talked to Ken about that specifically, and there are going to be some liquidity roadblocks to be able to do that. But I still am hopeful that we can get it done. And I think that's just going to be able to onboard even more, you know, even more token holders basically. And it's the way that MELD is set up, it should be fairly easy to bridge over to Avalanche and then eventually Ethereum. So that's part of it. We have different versions of the Pumpers Club as it evolves, and a lot of this necessarily isn't set in stone. These are sort of initial ideas. And I'm really looking forward to getting as many community members bullish as possible, because I think there's a lot of talent and a lot of really smart people out there that will help evolve this. And so this is kind of a call to action for anyone out there listening, which is like, join the Pumpers Club, and we're going to run it as a DAO basically. So we're going to have ideas. We're going to be totally open-minded to anyone's ideas, and we're going to have votes on what we should get done. And so these are just kind of the initial items. The DJ shop merch items, I already got 3 things on the way right now. We have the signature hat. This is a sample one, but I've got a bunch coming right now. I'm getting a second hat done, which is going to be super cool. And then the third thing we're doing that's on the way right now is stickers, actually. So I want to freaking like put stickers out there in the real world. And it's the badge. So it's the badge that says rawdogpumps.com. So one of my goals is to get as many people to the site as possible and expose them to everything that we're talking about here, which is all the reasons why this thing is going to pump. And so, yeah, we've got some cool stuff up our sleeves.
I'm super excited, and I'm sure from a marketing standpoint, if you've already sort of reviewed other meme coins, you'll probably agree with me here. But one thing that I think is very important is the meme ability, right? And staying up with trends. So I have to give it over to SNEK. If you ever check out their socials, and they grew extremely quick, and they've got one of the strongest communities by far. They have a wonderful artist that's able to basically take any existing meme and sort of snekify it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you'll definitely want to do something similar if you haven't already started that process where, something comes out, it becomes a meme, and boom, right then and there, the SNEK team's already got it done. For example, there was a recent attempt on a presidential, candidate. I don't think I need to say anything more, but there was a really, really iconic picture of that candidate coming out with like their fist raised, and a lot of the Secret Service around them, and the SNEK team took advantage. Boom, had a meme around that. We saw
Yeah.
CZ from Binance getting arrested last year, and there was a funny picture of him, putting up four fingers, and he ended up getting charged $4 billion, and the SNEK team immediately made a meme of that. Leonardo DiCaprio holding that champagne glass, like all these little things
Hmm.
play into sort of the community. And I'm just seeing a lot of different sort of like tidbits here about, animations, videos, merch items. I think that's one of
Yeah.
those things that definitely cannot be overlooked. That said, I mean, again, pretty impressive roadmap. Did you want to add anything else there?
Just add on to what you're saying, which is the RawDog character is right now is basically just it's a platform to be able to like build more stuff. And so I completely agree with what you're saying. He's really just a starting point right now. And one thing that I'm looking right now for video for animators. I would like to build like almost like little short cartoon clips with the RawDog character. His name's Willie, by the way. um, so that's something that I'm hell bent on, and so I'm actually looking for anybody for like animation help, doing just funny stuff like the music videos. There's a meme coin on Solana called Duko. I think it's called like DUKO. If you check out their Twitter, they have like super funny like short clip type stuff, and that's kind of the direction that I'm seeing in my head with RawDog, but ours will be better.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here. And again, you're off to an amazing start. This is just an intro to RawDog, of course, here, Sam. I want to thank you for your time. I don't want to take up too much of it here. I feel like we've covered quite a bit, though. So is there anything else here that maybe you want to touch on that we haven't gotten the opportunity to just yet?
Um, let me think. Not really. I mean, I'm just trying to build up as much. I want people. I mean, this is all pre-launch, so it's not really even out there. Um, it's going to be available as soon as MELD launches everything, which is supposedly in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, you're going to be able to get in right off the bat, but I really want to just develop that core team, like the Pumpers Club. I think that's the most important thing right now is to get as many people as possible that wants to be a part of this project and shoot and like push this thing out there and bring to the table your ideas and whatnot. So and I'm gonna be empowering as much as possible. Like I've already started building out like I'm calling it bull posting kits. So basically, if you go on Twitter, you see a lot of people that post stuff like check out this, they just write stuff, right? Like, and they give like the ticker, but it doesn't really convince you to like actually go check it out. And so we're going to be building out like big like image banks and eventually video banks that everybody who's part of the Pumpers Club and anybody who just wants to be a part of it, they're going to be empowered with stuff that's actually going to pull attention when they go out there on, in the war zone that is social media. And so there's going to be that I'm really excited about. And then also just more merch items. I'm really into getting this stuff done. And yeah, so that hat right there, the top hat, I'm getting the sample within the next week or so. This hat, the signature hat we're calling, is super cool. Um, it's got the second logo, which has an emblem. It's real. It's going to be out there. And then I got stickers, which I don't have on the website yet, but they're going to be super cool. I'm hoping to like place them in strategic places, right? Like somebody who lives up in San Francisco, freaking, go hit up the Google campus or whatever and put a RawDog sticker somewhere. So yeah, we're gonna have all sorts of awesome stuff like that. Basically, just social contest, ways to get the brand out there, get people to the website as much as possible, and it's gonna bring a lot of eyeballs to MELD, for sure.
Yeah, nicely stated. And I just literally noticed what the signature hat looks like. So
It
I
takes a
couldn't tell.
second. You're not quite
Yeah,
sure, and that's why it's like when you see it, you see it, and you can't
yeah,
help but laugh a little bit. So
yeah. I mean, again, I think your marketing genius here really starting to show. Really, really interesting project here. And for a token or for a meme that technically hasn't launched until the Melt ecosystem has, you've done a lot of work. So kudos to you here, Sam, and to everybody else that's been able to help you sort of put this together. Definitely look forward to catching up with you, especially as things get ready to launch. I do want to give the community an opportunity to go ahead and support or at least show interest. So I'd love to maybe get some sort of contact information from you. I'll leave that down below as a part of today's video description. But again, if you guys want to find out more about RawDog Pumps, the official website is rawdogpumps.com. Again, that will be left down there below. Sam, I want to thank you here for your time. This has been an interesting conversation, a first here on the channel and a first within the Melt ecosystem. We've got the first ever high quality, high grade meme coin, RawDog Pumps, which will be launching as soon as the Melt ecosystem opens up. And again, look forward to definitely catching back up with you to see how things progress, how things mature, and just how things play out, right, in a brand new ecosystem where there's so much opportunity here at hand. That said, for you watching at home, if you've enjoyed any portion of today's video breaking down RawDog Pumps here with Sam, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. It's one of the best ways to support me as a content creator. If you want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Dapp Central here. And last but not least, if you have any questions for me or Sam about MELD or RawDog Pumps, then make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers, everybody.